What's up, everybody? It's nice weather on a Friday. It's about 57 degrees right now. Perfect day to smoke a pork butt. So I've got a lot of friends text me and message me about smoking meat. You know, I want to do it, and let me tell you, man, I'm not a very good cook. Smoking meat is pretty darn easy. You don't take a rocket surgeon, you know what I mean? Ha! Excuse the noisy cars and the train and the kitty. But anyway, I want to show you what I work with today, y'all. I do have a Oklahoma Joe Highland smoker. It uses, you know, it's a stick burner, side burner, or whatever, and it uses whole logs. And I usually use cherry wood for that. But school's going on, so we got some kids coming out. But anyway, but you know, I was like, I want to smoke this pork butt today with some apple wood, and I want to use my old drum smoker, so I figured I'd show you guys what I got going on with my drum smoker. So anyway, my buddy Toby Calhoun showed me how to make one of these, and so basically I'm gonna show you the outside first, I guess. Got my little temperature gauge there. On that bottom is like a 3/4 inch gas ball valve, and then there's 2 pipe nipples, one right there and one right there, which I need to take out to let air in. So right now I'm just getting this thing fired up, so I figured I'd show you from the beginning what I do. Boom. So usually the caps come off, but the caps are kind of rusted on there, so whatever, it's all good. So but usually I take both of those out, and on the front here, the gas ball valve, I'll usually open it about maybe halfway. Yeah, we'll do about halfway. We'll start with that. So the idea is that, you know, smoking range is from 225 degrees to 275 degrees. Anywhere between there is just fine. But you know, obviously if your smoker runs a little cool, temperature starts going, you know, below 225, then you want to open the air up a little bit. So you just take a little gas ball valve, you open it up just a little bit, and you'll see that temperature climb. If it's getting too hot, running 325 degrees, getting too hot, you just shut it down just a little bit, about halfway, or even sometimes I just have a little sliver open, you know, like a quarter of the way open. Whatever it takes to run 225 degrees, depending on the weather and all that. So, but these drum smokers, they actually call these ugly drum smokers, or UDSs, because they're made out of a 50-gallon drum, an ugly one. You gotta get yourself an ugly one, you know. So anyway, you install those things, drill those big holes out with a step drill bit, you know what I mean, and get your temperature gauge put in there, nice one. That one is, by the way, that temperature gauge, you can order them. That is adjustable or calibratable. So, you know, if you stick a needle in there and you trust it and it's perfect, you could actually, there's a little screw on the back of that thing, and you can adjust it to where it's perfect. Calibratable. So, but anyway, let me show you the inside. On the inside, you got to make yourself a charcoal basket, or sometimes people just use, if you can't weld, you know, you can get this expanded metal and cut it, and some people just use like baling wire to tie the ends together. It don't got to be pretty. But that's your charcoal basket. That's what sits in the bottom. Okay, got your charcoal in there, and then you'll throw like a couple of chunks of your favorite smoking wood, hickory, or, sorry about the noise, apple wood's what I'm using today. A couple chunks. Don't over smoke it. Your food will taste like lighter fluid. All right, but you could buy these grates, or if you have already have a big Weber grill. Those are 22-inch, I believe, 22-inch grates. I've got like 3 of them, but they fit perfectly inside this drum. Some of these grates have, let's see, got like these flaps that you can lift up. So if you got food sitting on there, you can lift that up and throw a couple more chunks of apple wood on there, or you know, more charcoal if you need to. So you don't have to take your grate off. That's pretty handy. But anyway, you can buy those at any store. And so you can see my grate in there. It fits perfectly. So yeah, these screws that I got on the side, those are just long carriage bolts, you know. and I use 3 of them. So don't use 4 of them, because 3 of them, you don't have to worry about being perfectly even, you know what I mean? So you just measure it and screw in 3 carriage bolts. There it is right there, and the grate sits on those, see? And I actually have 3 levels, so I can smoke a pork butt, a couple racks of ribs, and a brisket on top. But today I'm just doing a pork butt, so I'm just gonna use 1 grate. And I'll probably put it on top, you know, furthest away from the heat. So this is your charcoal chimney. This is what I'm starting the fire with. And I got it sitting on my grate so it doesn't make a mess in my yard or a mess on the concrete. But anyway, and I bought these little, let's see if I can show it to you. It's kind of burnt out, but I bought this box of wax cubes, okay? And you light that sucker once, I don't care if it's pouring down rain or if it's snowing and ice, you light one of those suckers, that is all you need. And it doesn't leave a mess like paper does or anything like that. You light that sucker, you stick your charcoal on top of it, and you can see it already starting to smoke 100% of the time. It will flame up. And it takes about 20 minutes, and you'll see flames start coming out the top, and then those charcoals, you know, start getting white and glowing red and get that white coating on them. And then they're perfect. They're perfect, ready to go. And then you dump them into that charcoal basket. And then the charcoal basket's going to go down in the smoker. And then, of course, here's my lid. Now, if you do get you a barrel, make sure you get a lid that has that nice rim around it that fits on top. Without the band, you know, some of those drums have that stupid band around them that, well, it locks the lid down, but it's a pain in the butt for a smoker. This one, I just kind of like pound on it, hammer it down, and it makes a nice seal, and I can just lift up with my fingers and pull the thing right off. It's easy. And then of course your 2 bung holes there, I took those out. Sometimes those get crusted up and I gotta use pliers, but I usually use both those open. That's what the smoke comes out of, obviously. Or you could drop your thermometer needle down in there, check your smoker temperature, whatever you want to do. But anyway, that is my smoker setup, and that is how you get started. And I'm going to get the pork butt out. It's still in the package, and once I get it out, I will show you guys what we're going to do with that. See ya. All right, guys, I got my bone-in pork shoulder, pork butt going on right here. We'll go make pulled pork with it. I haven't done anything to it, but take it out of the package and rinsed it off a little bit, washed all that blood off, and patted it dry with a paper towel. That is it. That's all I've done so far. And you know, I got it right side up right now because it's got that big fat cap on the top. And some people don't do anything with it. In fact, sometimes I don't do anything with it. But a couple pork butts that I've made lately, people are like, well, it's a little more fatty than I like, but it's really good. And man, we don't need all that fat, really, I don't think. Everybody says, well, fat's flavor. But it's got plenty of fat marbled up in there. And I'm not going to trim every bit of that off, but I am going to cut some of it off. In fact, like on this side right here, it's like pretty hard stuff. And yeah, it'll get softer, but I'm going to trim some of that off because I don't want that. So I'm going to use this knife right here, and I'm going to trim that up. Sorry, it's kind of hard to hold a cell phone and do it at the same time. But anyway, I'm going to trim all off and show you what it looks like after that. All right. All right, guys, I trimmed it up as good as I think I want to. You can see that it looks a little different. I didn't trim all the fat off the top, but I trimmed quite a bit. In fact, look at that. That's what I cut off of it. Now, like I said, you don't have to do that. Sometimes I just throw a rub on there and let her go. But I don't know about you guys, but I don't need all that fat. It's pretty gross looking, actually. So whatever, cut it off. You got plenty of fat in there, you know what I mean? All right, next step is I got this dollar Kroger yellow mustard. And do not worry, I hate mustard. You will not taste it. This is just a binder to keep the rub on, to help the rub stick, you know, when you put it on. And you don't even have to do this step. You can keep it simple and just don't even trim it up and just pour your favorite rub on there and throw it on. It doesn't matter. But this helps the rub stick a little better. And like I said, it cooks off and you do not taste a bit of it. Trust me, I hate mustard with a passion. But anyway, like I said, it's kind of hard to do this and hold the cell phone at the same time. But I'm going to rub this whole thing down with yellow mustard. You can also use like olive oil or any kind of oil. That also helps it stick. But yellow mustard's pretty good to use. It's a good binder. So I think I'm gonna choose to do that today. And I'm gonna rub that thing down with yellow mustard and show you what it looks like. All right, see you. All right, that's what it looks like with mustard on it. Pretty simple, right? All right, now it's time to put your favorite rub on. I have different ones. I've got Killer Hogs barbecue rub, and heck, you can make your own. But excuse me. But you know what I'm gonna do today? I'm gonna steal my buddy Derek's idea. I'm just gonna do simple SPG, salt, pepper, garlic. All right, because a lot of people don't like smoked meat, you know what I mean? Some people don't like all that smoke, which is another reason why I'm using my drum smoker today. I can just use a chunk or two of applewood, and it's not gonna be over smoky, I don't think. I know it's not gonna be smoky as the whole sticks of fire or cherry wood, but anyway, I'm gonna try to make this thing with just salt, pepper, garlic, because you know, we might want to make tacos with it and put some taco seasoning on it. We might want to make something else with it, you know, and make sandwiches and put some barbecue seasoning with it. You could do so much. You could make pulled pork nachos, pulled pork, whatever. I don't care. Pulled pork on whatever you want. But anyway, salt, pepper, garlic works with everything. Why is it called Texas SPG? Is because if you look at it closely, these grains of pepper and salt are really big, real coarse. Salt, pepper, garlic, real coarse, and it just looks pretty doggone it. So I'm gonna put this rub on here, all over it, and then I'll get back with you. In fact, I can probably hold this to show you what I'm gonna do on top here. Yeah, we're just gonna get that thing, and be liberal because this is a big chunk of meat, and it can handle all this spice. You're not gonna overdo it, don't worry about it. Look at that, little spot right there. Boom, baby, that's it. And then, see that mustard's really holding on. So I'm gonna do that to all the sides and get my hands messy. And then I'll get back with you. See ya. All right, there we go. It's what it looks like with all the rub on it. Looks pretty already. Don't eat it yet. But when I was putting that rub on, I basically, you know, use this hand to flip the pork butt over, and I even patted it down just a little bit, you know, pressed it in a little bit, and used one dirty hand and one clean hand. I had my shaker in my left hand, and kept it clean. So don't get your bottles all messy. All right. So anyway, we're going to go out and check on the smoker and see where it's at. I did start that charcoal. I started lighting it at 115. So in case you guys are wondering, how long is this going to take? When's it going to be done? All day, y'all. It doesn't matter. All day. That's when it's going to be done. All day. Later. Who knows? I've had pork butts that got done in 6 hours. I've had pork butts that got done in 10 hours. I'm just doing one, and it's not too cold outside, so I'm guessing, I don't know, 6, 7 hours, 8, I don't know, when it's done. So, but anyway, I started that charcoal at 115, and it is now 140. So we're gonna go out there and see what the charcoal chimney looks like. All right, remember how I told you that the coals will eventually start glowing, they'll get that white crust on them? Oh yeah, that is ready to pour, yo. So we're gonna pour that on top of, I already poured some charcoal in here. So we're gonna pour that on top of there. Hopefully I don't burn the crap out of myself. So I'm gonna do that and I'll get back with you guys, thanks. All right, there we go. I got my hot coals poured on top of my good coals. And then I've got 4 chunks of that apple wood in there. And we'll take this basket, drop it right down in there. All the way down the bottom there. Beautiful. I'm gonna take a grate and set it right on top. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. You know what would be a good idea? I wanna put this in the middle, and I'll tell you why. This is gonna be even better. I'm gonna put that grate in the middle, and I'm gonna get one of those metal pans, and I'm gonna fill it with water pan. So my meat won't be even sitting on top of all that heat. It'd be awesome, and it'll keep it a little more moist in there. For those of you like that word moist. Ha! So anyway, I'll put a water pan on there, and then another grate sitting on top with the pork butt on it. I'll show you what that looks like. All right, you can see I got the water pan in there, and that'd be nice for it. And cool, so I'm gonna put the lid on, and then when the smoker gets up to temperature, we will put the pork butt on. So I've got that thermometer on the front, but I did drill a small hole somewhere. I gotta find it. Oh, there it is. I drilled a small hole right there that it's perfect size for just a needle. I could just stick a needle in there, and that is like right where the grate is, so that I know what the grate temperature is, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna stick a needle in there and wait for it to get up temperature, and I'll let you know how it goes. All right, I wanted to show y'all where I'm at. Check it out. The smoker temperature, by the way, it is exactly 2:15. Remember, I started that charcoal at 1:15, so it's been exactly an hour, and this smoker is running good. So on my thermometer, it says, so I can get a good close of it. Hopefully you can see the number. It's like 250, right at 250. Hey, that's good enough for me. And when I first started this thing, I'm sorry, what I'm gonna say was, when I first put the thermometer in the side there, it said like almost 400 degrees. I was like, holy moly, I got it too hot. We need to calm her down. So what I did was I put one of those pipe nipples on the side, left the other one open, and then I closed that down. It's like a little sliver open, like maybe a quarter of the way open. See that? And then boom, baby, she's running about 250. Hey, I'll take it. And then I have, this is called the Ink Bird. Find it on Amazon, Ink Bird, maybe 60 bucks. It served me well. You can plug 6 thermometers in this thing. It's got 6 holes on it. And obviously it has an app that goes with it, BBQ Go or whatever. You download that, and what's cool is that like I can like for needle number 1, I have it set for a range. So I have it set for between 225 to 275, and I named it smoker temp. And if it goes below 225 or above 275, if I crash out in the recliner, it will beep loudly at me and go beep, 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 beep. Hey, your smoker's too hot. And then I'll know. I'll come back out here and adjust it. So that's pretty handy. And then port number 2, I have set for the pork butt. Actually, I named it pork butt wrap because I'm going to let this thing go for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours, maybe 4. I don't know. But when it gets to about 140 degrees or somewhere around there, I want to look at it, and really I go off color. If it's like beautiful, got that beautiful mahogany, awesome, pretty color that you like, and it looks so good, and you're like, I don't want to get any darker than that, that's when you're going to put aluminum foil over it and wrap it up. I think today I'm just going to leave this thing in that pan, make it a little easier for me. I'm going to throw it on the smoker just like that. And I got a needle sticking out of it. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it like that. And then also I have a spray bottle right here. I have half apple cider vinegar and half water. So I'm maybe every hour or so I'll check it out, and I'll just spritz that thing down and keep it nice and moist. So that is it, man. That's all I'm doing. I told you this is easy. So I'm just gonna stick that thing on there. It's 2:15, perfect timing. By the way, you know how I told you that that thing was calibratable? It says 250 degrees, and on my app it says 250 degrees for smoker temp. So it is right on the dot, and I'm pretty happy. So alrighty, so I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Hey, I got somebody holding my phone this time. Thanks, Sammy. Anyway, I was gonna show you what the pork butt looks like. So it is now 3:30, so the pork butt has been on for pretty much an hour. And like I said, every hour I'm gonna squirt it down with this. Temperature wise, this drum has held steady at 230 degrees. That's perfect. So I've been keeping an eye on it, sitting on my recliner, enjoying myself. And it stayed at 230 degrees. So anyway, we're gonna take a little peek-see at it. And we're gonna squirt it down. Oh yeah, look at that. Still looking good. It's only been an hour, so not a whole lot of color yet, but we're gonna squirt it real good. Helps if I, of course you can hear that beep, and that's because the temperature's dropping because I got the lid open. That's all right. Get this thing going here. Neighbor kids are throwing some little pops fireworks stuff. There we go, now it's squirting. All right, we're gonna get this thing real wet. I got the water pan down in there too. That'll help out a lot. But I got half apple cider vinegar, half water in this thing. And this just keeps it from drying out. Oh yeah, that looks really good. Put the lid back on. Shut this thing up. There we go. And something else I wanted to say about these drum smokers is that they're real efficient, right? Like I said, I've had this thing going for an hour and it stayed at 230 degrees. It hasn't even moved. But charcoal wise, I put a half bag of charcoal in this thing in the basket and it'll go all night. And when this pork butt is done, when I'm done using the smoker, I can put these caps back on, put the pipe nipples back in there, close off that gas ball valve, and this thing it'll put itself out, and that charcoal will save. It won't sit there and burn up like a charcoal grill, you know. And that next time I go to cook on this thing, I'll still have plenty of charcoal to start with. So they're real efficient. Like I said, I could go probably 10-15 hours on maybe a half bag of charcoal. So, and you can see this thing's smoking real good. You can see coming out of the holes, it's got just a little bit of real thin blue smoke coming out of it, bluish white, and it's perfect. It's not over smoking, it's not smoking like a chimney, so it's not gonna taste like lighter fluid, hopefully. So anyway, that was the first hour, and I got my alarm set for another hour, and we'll spritz it again. All right, see you guys next time. It's been on for 3 hours now. It's 5:30, and we're going to take a look at it. And my beeper went off because the pork butt reached 140 degrees, which is generally where I wrap it, somewhere around there. But we're going to take a look at it, see what it looks like. And spritz it down. Oh, it's looking beautiful. Look at that. But you know what? The puppy in there agrees. I think it needs a little more bark. So we're going to spritz it down one more time and maybe give another hour. So I'll set my time for another hour, and maybe the next hour we'll wrap it up. We'll get a little more bark on there. Like I said, you really want to go off the look. So that's it, but it's looking pretty good. See you next time. All right, I'm back. So the pork butt has been on for 4 hours now. It is exactly 6:30. Time to check it again. I'm sure it's just the color I want. And I'll probably end up wrapping it with this aluminum foil. I got some heavy duty aluminum foil. Get that at Sam's Club. I know how sometimes digital numbers will show up funny on a video, but if you can't see that, one temperature is 250 degrees. I have not touched this smoker for 4 hours now. Sorry, 5 hours actually. And it has held 250 degrees and I haven't touched it with one pipe nipple on. The other side is off, and I got that gas ball valve just barely open there. 250. Pretty darn close to it. It has stayed there the whole time. And but anyway, let's take a look at it. It's been on for 4 hours. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I didn't do anything but spritz it with that half apple cider vinegar and half water. That's it. That's all I've done. Look at all that juice. So at this point, this pork butt is sucked in all the smoke that it can, because the pores close up on a big hunk of meat like that about this time. Beeping at me again because I got my lid open. But all I'm going to do is put some aluminum foil right over top of that thing, and that's it. So I don't think you need to see that. So that's all I'm going to do, and I'm going to let it go. The next step is I'm going to now set my pork butt temperature. Hush. I am now going to set my target temperature for the pork butt for 205 degrees. A lot of videos and forums you'll watch say 202 is the perfect temperature. 203, no, 202, 203, 205, whatever. So I say 205 is what I've always had the best luck with, and you cannot mess that up. And then I promise you that it will be awesome, the best meat you'll ever had. And that bone will pull right out of that pork like butter. It's awesome. So anyway, all I'm going to do is wrap that up with aluminum foil on top of that pan and let it go, and I'll let you know exactly how long it takes. But right now it's at The pork butt's at 160, so when it gets to 205 degrees, it'll be done. And then, most importantly, let it rest. I always let it rest for a good hour or two. Sometimes I've even let it rest overnight in a cooler. But anyway, 205 degrees, let it rest. So, all right, I'll let you know when it's done. Bye. All right, this is it. Pork butt is done. Show you guys what it looks like. This took 6.5 hours today, so not too bad. I was actually pretty surprised. But the smoker ran at 250 degrees the whole time. I didn't even touch it. I was really impressed by that. But, you know, after I wrapped it, after, what, 3 hours or so, when it got to about 160, I wrapped it and put that aluminum foil over top of it, and I didn't do anything else until it reached 205 degrees, and I pulled it out of there, and I let it rest for about an hour and a half or so. So, we're going to see what she looks like. Oh, that looks good. Turned out good. Now, usually I use a fancy barbecue rub, you know, like Killer Hogs or something like that, and I'll have like a much prettier dark mahogany color. And remember, this is that rub I use. It was just salt, pepper, garlic, but because I want to do different things with it. But that is good stuff. It smells so good. The whole house is smelling good. And I'm going to see if I can do this without making too much of a mess with one hand. But I want to see if that bone pulled right out of there. There's that bone right there. Super hot stuff. All right, there's the bone right there. Let's see if we can pull it out of there. See how nice and tender this baby is. Look at that. Just pulls right out of there. That is good stuff. Wow. Real jiggly means it's real tender, but you know, I gotta do a taste test. Gosh, look at that. I'm just squishing my fingers, just falling right apart. It's gonna be so easy to pull. That is pretty. Look at that smoke ring and everything. All right, taste test. Smells so good. Super hot. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's so good. Turned out really good this time. Pretty happy with that salt, pepper, garlic. So, look at that. Look how easy it is to pull. It's crazy hot right now. I'm burning the crap out of my fingers, but check this out if I just squish it. It's gonna be so easy to pull, it just falls right apart. It's amazing. I might just grab a couple forks and go at it and shred it up. So, well, hope y'all enjoyed my first barbecue video. Thanks for watching. See ya.